Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. A military training jet in Dhaka, Bangladesh crashed into the campus of Milestone School and College on Monday, killing at least 19 people and injuring more than 100 others. The Chinese-made F-7 BGI aircraft, operated by the Bangladesh Air Force, took off from a nearby base and went down minutes later due to a reported technical malfunction, bursting into flames as it slammed into a two-story school building, killing students and the pilot, and injuring many others. Rescuers and panicked parents rushed children to the hospital. Officials declared a national day of mourning and launched an investigation into what's being called the deadliest plane crash in the nation's capital in recent memory. The Trump administration finalized a prisoner swap with Venezuela last Friday, exchanging 250 Venezuelans previously deported from the U.S. and held in El Salvador's terrorism confinement center for 10 American hostages detained in Venezuela. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed the exchange on social media, calling it a strategic move under a wartime authority invoked in March. The deal marks a significant win for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, bolstering his domestic standing amid continued global criticism over human rights violations and questions about his legitimacy. This follows earlier negotiations that secured the release of an American Air Force veteran. In Washington, the House on Friday approved President Donald Trump's $9 billion rescissions package, slashing previously approved funding for foreign aid and public broadcasting. The bill eliminates $1.1 billion set aside for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting over the next 2 years, which helps fund more than 1,500 local PBS and NPR stations nationwide. It also cuts $800 million from the State Department's Bureau of Population, Refugees, and Migration, and removes $125 million from USAID's operating budget. The move reflects a major rollback in U.S. international aid and public media support, reshaping how America funds diplomacy and information access both at home and abroad. The Department of Homeland Security is rolling out new measures to make airport travel easier for families and military members. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced Thursday that TSA checkpoints will now include a dedicated family lane under a new program called Families on the Fly, starting in high-traffic family destinations like Orlando, Florida. Families with children will also receive a $15 discount when enrolling in TSA PreCheck. Meanwhile, the honor lane for uniformed military members, already in place at 11 airports, will soon expand nationwide. Noem also confirmed that Gold Star families will receive free access to PreCheck and passengers will no longer be required to remove their shoes during security screenings. Nearly 500 metric tons of emergency food funded by U.S. taxpayers is set to be destroyed this month, as high-energy biscuits meant for starving populations around the world sit expired in a Dubai warehouse. The nutrient-dense rations designed for crisis zones like Gaza are now unusable, costing an additional $100,000 in disposal fees. A former USAID official blamed the Trump-era dismantling of the agency's logistics and oversight systems for the waste, saying past protocols would have ensured the food reached those in need before expiration. A State Department spokesperson confirmed the destruction, calling it an unfortunate but occasional reality of maintaining emergency stockpiles. Officials emphasized the biscuits were intended for displaced populations and that USAID continues to store similar food supplies worldwide to respond to humanitarian crises. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
When it comes to getting around Greater Boston, the T is the greatest value.
Yeah, you can save big compared to ride shares. I mean, there's no surge pricing, there's no tipping. How about no traffic stress?
You can park at any of the MBTA's lots and garages, and it's easy and affordable.
Just tap your phone and go. It's fast, modern, and convenient.
From Aquarium Station, explore Faneuil Hall, the Greenway and Carousel, and Christopher Columbus Park.
Or hop on an MBTA ferry for a scenic trip into the city.
Less stress, more savings, convenience at its finest. That's the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Welcome back. Braintree joined nearly 100 communities across Massachusetts on Wednesday, July 17th for Good Trouble Lives On, a nationwide day of peaceful protests honoring the legacy of civil rights icon Congressman John Lewis. The coordinated event marks 5 years since Lewis's passing and calls on citizens to get in good trouble, necessary trouble, in defense of democracy. Braintree's rally is part of a broader movement organized by national groups like the Transformative Justice Coalition, who are pushing back against what they describe as civil rights rollbacks under the Trump administration. South Shore communities, including Canton, Hull, and Plymouth, also took part, while some demonstrators joined the Boston Common rally by ferry. First responders and their families are invited to lace up for a cause at the Hope Beyond the Badge 5K, happening Saturday, July 27th at 8 a.m. at Braintree Town Hall. Hosted by the Hope Beyond the Badge Foundation, the event aims to support first responders and their loved ones by raising awareness about trauma and breaking the stigma around seeking help. Registration is $30, with check-in starting at 6 a.m. and the race beginning at 8 a.m. for walkers and 8:30 a.m. for runners. Shirts are guaranteed for the first 150 registrants, and burgers and hot dogs will be served at the finish line. The event is held in memory of Sergeant Alex G. Kokoris. Mark your calendars. Braintree Parks and Recreation is hosting Kids Day at French's Common on Wednesday, July 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with a sensory-friendly hour from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This free family event, sponsored by Mayor Aaron Joyce, will feature face painting, bounce houses, water slides, field games, music, a cookout, ice cream, and much more. Officials note the date has been updated from the previously announced Friday, July 25th date. Braintree families are invited to beat the heat with some classic fun at Intergenerational Board Game Day on Wednesday, July 30th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. at the Braintree Senior Center on Cleveland Avenue. Kids ages 5 to 12, parents, and grandparents are all welcome for an afternoon of old-school games like Candyland, Connect 4, and Battleship, brought in by Miss Elizabeth from Thayer Public Library. The event is co-sponsored by the Department of Elder Affairs and the Thayer Public Library, with support from statewide summer reading programs and local sponsors. For more information, contact the library's Children's Department. The Braintree Recreation Department is shining a spotlight on its Hire a Teen program, a community-driven initiative that connects local high school students with residents who need help with tasks like yard work, snow shoveling, moving barrels, and dog walking. It's a great opportunity for teens to earn a little extra cash or log volunteer hours, and a helpful resource for residents looking for an extra set of hands. The department shares the Hire a Teen list with those who request it, and residents can then reach out directly to teens for assistance. Students interested in joining the list can complete the application and email it to recreation@braintreema.gov. Free meals are on the menu this summer for Braintree kids and teens, thanks to the return of the Summer Eats program. Hosted at Hollis, Morrison, and Ross Elementary Schools, the program offers breakfast daily from 8 to 9:30 a.m. and lunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. No registration or ID required. This year, families can expect more than just food, with weekly crafts, activities, and more. Organizers say the program is open to everyone and aims to provide not only nourishment, but a fun, safe space throughout the summer. For full menus and more information, visit schools.mealviewer.com/district/Braintree Public Schools, or you can call 1-800-645-8333. Thanks for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Heading into the city? Don't even think about driving.
The T is by far the best value in the city.
Park with ease at one of the many MBTA lots or garages with rates that beat anything in the city.
You just have to tap your phone or contactless card and ride. No machines, no stress. It's modern, fast, it's easy.
And the best part, you get dropped off steps away from where you want to go.
Hop off at Park Street, explore the State House, Boston Common, and the Theater District.
And don't miss a concert at the Orpheum.
Ride smart, ride the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. The deadly fire at the Gabriel House assisted living facility in Fall River has claimed a 10th life. Officials say 66-year-old Brenda Cropper died after spending a week in critical condition following the 5-alarm blaze that broke out last week. The fire, which became Massachusetts' deadliest since 1984, killed 9 others and injured 3, while dozens of residents were rescued from the 69-person facility. Investigators from the State Fire Marshal's office, along with local fire and police, are still working to determine the cause. In response, Governor Healy announced new fire safety regulations for the state's 273 assisted living residences. Starting July 21st, facilities must provide families with fire safety protocols, post-evacuation routes, and complete a fire safety assessment within 30 days. A Hingham firefighter is getting national attention for inventing a new tool to tackle the growing threat of electric vehicle fires. Ryan Twombly developed a 40-inch metal pipe with hose attachments and slits that works like a high-powered sprinkler, allowing firefighters to safely slide it under a burning EV and cool the battery without tipping the car. Twombly said he created the device after witnessing crews spend too much time in dangerous conditions. His invention is now in use on all Hingham fire engines and has been adopted by over a dozen departments, including Waltham, where it was recently used to put out an electric Jeep fire. Demolition is underway at the former Family Dollar site in downtown Quincy, making room for a new 7-story mixed-use development by Tavern in the Square restaurant owner Joey Arcari. The project, called the Hancock, will feature a 2-level restaurant, 5 floors of 1- and 2-bedroom apartments totaling 43 units, and 18 spaces of underground parking at 1445 Hancock Street. Quincy's Planning Board approved the development last May, and the city's Historical Commission gave the green light to tear down the nearly century-old building in October. The city also demolished adjacent properties earlier this year to create a public park with open cafe seating, which will connect to other major developments in Quincy Center, including a medical office building and a 300-unit apartment complex. Arcari has not yet shared a construction timeline. In Randolph, what looks like a neighborhood grocery store at 1 Turner Lane is actually a lifeline for many, a fully stocked, no-cost food pantry serving local residents in need. The Randolph Friendly Food Pantry, recently revamped with a $200,000 ARPA grant, has tripled its food capacity and now serves about 150 families a week. Clients shop in a free choice model, selecting their own groceries from labeled sections offering fresh produce, meats, and pantry staples. With support from 30 volunteers and community partners like the Boston Higashi School, the pantry also provides home delivery for those unable to visit. Federal funding cuts are beginning to squeeze resources as the Greater Boston Food Bank faces shortfalls tied to reduced USDA aid. Still, Executive Director Amanda Reed and her team say they're committed to meeting growing demand and tackling food insecurity one grocery cart at a time. Just in time for peak summer heat, 36 beaches across Massachusetts have been closed to swimming due to elevated bacteria levels. Most closures are linked to storm runoff and fecal contamination, prompting health officials to post warnings deeming the water unsafe. Local health departments are required to monitor water quality, and when contamination is detected, beaches must display signs alerting the public to potential health risks, including gastrointestinal issues, flu-like symptoms, and eye or ear irritation. The risks are greatest for children, the elderly, and those with compromised immune systems. For local residents, the closest impacted sites include 4 beaches in the Wollaston area of Quincy. While some beach areas remain open for non-water activities, contact with the water is strongly discouraged. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health updates a daily water quality dashboard online for beachgoers. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree today. Now this week in entertainment, we have 3 movies for you to watch. First, Smurfs follows Smurfette, who leads the Smurfs on a mission to the real world to save Papa Smurf, who is taken by evil wizards Razamel and Gargamel. The film stars Rihanna as Smurfette. You can watch Smurfs now in theaters. Up next, a Minecraft movie follows 4 misfits who are suddenly pulled through a mysterious portal into a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master this world while embarking on a quest with an unexpected expert crafter. The film stars Jack Black and Jason Momoa. You can watch a Minecraft movie now on Hulu. And finally, The Shark Whisperer follows marine conservationist and social media activist Ocean Ramsey, who fearlessly swims with sharks in this documentary about her risky mission to protect them. The documentary is directed by Harrison Max, and you can watch The Shark Whisperer now on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCam TV in high definition on channel 2128. You can also now see us in high definition on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree today on BCam TV. We'll see you next time.